Hi, I'm Sean O'Driscoll. I'm the co-founder of AnsIView, a management consulting company based out of Seattle, Washington that does social customer engagement consulting work for large brands looking to better connect with their customers through social channels. All right, well, before AnsIView, I guess I was a general manager of community support at Microsoft. I spent 16 years at Microsoft from 2002 to 2008 running our global help and how-to strategy as applied to user-to-user conversation. I guess as part of that, I was accountable for our 4,000 person community influencer program called the Microsoft Most Valuable Professionals. All right, so the catalyst for building the MVP program goes back really a long ways for Microsoft. In 2002, when I took over the program, it was a well-run program out of the support organization. It was all about acknowledging roughly 500 or 600 individuals around the world, primarily in English language, primarily developer technologies. But at the time, for those who know Microsoft's history, what was really white hot was LiNX Compete. Open source competition was the single biggest competitive threat to the business at the time. And so we really spent a lot of time looking at Linux communities and trying to understand competitively what made them special and what could Microsoft learn about engaging differently with its customers to drive our innovation, to drive product quality, and to drive customer engagement. One of the aha moments for us was we saw these individuals who were incredible fans of open source. And what they possessed was birthright, right? Is they had given birth to open source. They'd written components of the source code, and of course they were rabid advocates for the technology. And no feature set Microsoft could put into Windows was ever going to overcome that parent's sense of brilliance for the plumbing. And I think that was a big moment for us in realizing that we too had passionate advocates who were engaged out in our communities answering thousands of questions about Microsoft products, but we were missing the opportunity to really scale out our efforts to acknowledge and thank them, and also more systematically engage them back into the process with the company to really drive our success in the marketplace and better position us as a company that was listening and responding to customer feedback. So we really started the program thinking through how would we engage with these MVPs. What would they be most interested in? And I think that's a good starting point for any program, is realizing that there's got to be this sense of a fair exchange of value for your community influencers. You've got to ask yourself, what's in it for them? If you asked our MVPs why did they do what they did in our communities, they didn't do it to help Microsoft, to be honest. They did it to help other users. They had, in some way, shape, or form, experienced that opportunity where they helped someone else utilize the products, utilize the technology. Someone said thank you, and that addiction to appreciation was really turned on for them, that volunteering behavior. So we looked to engage with them in ways that would help them connect with one another. That was a big opportunity, is how do you get them to connect and share with other like-minded MVPs around the world. Secondly, how could we engage them with Microsoft? So they didn't want to talk to Steve Ballmer, they didn't want to talk to me, frankly. They wanted to talk to the people in the product teams who built the products they were passionate about. If you were an Excel MVP, nothing would be better than having an hour on the phone with the guy or the product team or the PM responsible for building pivot tables, right? That would be your dream day. Engagement kind of took two folds. How do you engage with other MVPs, and how do you engage in real relationships back with Microsoft product teams in building innovation? Yeah, there were a lot of different kinds of benefits to Microsoft. I think one of the things that we learned, and maybe this goes back to my first reading of Don Tapscoat's Wikinomics, is that there are always going to be more smart people on any topic outside your company than inside your company, no matter how enormous your organization is. And so one of the things we learned is that these MVPs had amazing feedback for us about our products. We saw that MVPs in some of our betas were 3 to 5 times more productive in giving us feedback and criticism about the products that we could take action on before we ship the products. We saw individuals who answered literally thousands and thousands of questions in our support forums for other users. And yeah, maybe that deflected some phone calls, but I think bigger than that in terms of ROI for us was thinking about the increase in number of customers touched, right? Could we increase our reach and satisfaction of total customers served was always a more interesting metric to us than were we deflecting some calls out of the call center, because that was a more difficult number to prove out. That's right. I'm looking forward to joining everyone at Lithium and talking about influencers, the experiences we had with the Microsoft MVP program, and hearing what kinds of challenges other people are facing in their own advocacy endeavors.